Yo, I for real heard you got married to a golden retriever human hybrid. Is that true?
Like my grandma used to say, anything goes in the pod.
This is Nothing Gained
Nothing ventured.
with Allison
And Virgil.
Welcome, broadcasting live from our pod to yours. We are in the middle of quarantine. Isn't that right, Allison?
That is absolutely correct, and it is a glorious quarantine.
It's the most beautiful quarantine anyone could ever know.
And what is this, day 6 of the quarantine?
This is day 6 of the quarantine.
What the fuck?
I have currently trained a German Shepherd to drive a car to be able to go to the store to pick up all of my necessities. I just sent him out this morning. He's a really good boy. He uses his... I've trained him to pick up on...
Is it Barnett?
It's Barnett. I've trained Barnett to pick up on the scent of toilet paper. And so he knows where all the hot spots are.
Yeah, we did that with our cats, too. Cats can't catch coronavirus.
It's a good thing your cats can't catch coronavirus, because you'd probably be dead by now.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know, though. I mean, tomorrow, breaking news, CNN could be...
All cats.
All cats have coronavirus.
Calling
You're going to have
all
to
cats.
take them out back and shoot them. I mean... I mean, that's it really... I mean,
That's
we're
dark.
heading toward that level of dark where we're having to fucking kill our I was going to say livestock. Cats aren't livestock. I'm never eating cat. I'll just fucking die.
Oh my god.
That's where I draw the line.
Is that where you... Oh, that's where you draw the line. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Breaking news also, it seems that politicians are bewildered to find out that most Americans don't have a room full of treasure in their house, like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, $10,000 worth of savings, right, is what the average Gen X or millennial is supposed to have to sustain themselves.
Yeah, come on, Allison. You don't have at least 2 to 3 months worth of rent just saved up at any given time?
I do, actually, in a little box we
Oh,
keep
you-
under the bed. We have thousands and thousands.
Is it labeled coronavirus fund?
It's actually in a manila envelope.
Oh, it's
yeah.
in a manila envelope.
We planned ahead for pandemics.
Yeah, I keep mine in a snakeskin briefcase.
Yep. Well, that's good, too.
Yeah, it's diamond encrusted.
No one's going to touch that. That's so
No,
ugly.
nobody would even look at it.
No,
So,
no.
I mean, I think we're ready.
You and I were talking the other day about other pandemics, epidemics, and wondering if they got the same kind of play.
Yeah.
And one of the ones I was thinking about was TB. You know, we talk a lot about our grandma. This would have been our grandma's parents' generation. There was crazy TB outbreaks in cities.
Yeah.
And actually, my real, not our fake grandma that we talk about on the show, my real grandma, my mom's mom, her mother died of TB
Holy shit.
when she was 7. And what they did, though, was they would hang a sign on the door of the house where the person had TB, basically telling everybody to stay the fuck away from that house, and then just wait for the person to die.
Oh my god, like the old biblical, like...
The mark.
Put a
of,
mark on the door?
Yeah, and it was like that, but only a mark on the door saying, don't visit this person, don't treat this person, because they got TB and we don't know what the fuck to do about it.
Hey, at least if you were an introvert in that time and you didn't want anybody to bother you, just put a TB sign on the door.
Shit, I'm going to put a TB sign on the door. Not that anybody's been bothering me.
No, yeah.
Nobody's bothering anyone right now.
No, not at all.
Just you, Virgil.
Yep, just me.
You're just the only one bothering me.
Folks, we do this for you. This podcast is for the people, and we know that you can't get out of your houses. So, like an idiot, I'm going over to a woman's house who has a compromised immune system from stage 4.
Metastatic breast cancer.
One of our sponsors, as always. And, I do it for all of you.
Yeah, but the CDC didn't say that, neighbors can't visit, right? They said keep it under 10 people.
This is definitely under 10 people.
This is way under 10 people.
This is like 8 people under 10 people.
I don't think we've ever had 10 people in our house.
I don't.
At the same
To be
time.
honest, to be real, I don't even really know 10 people very well. So
That I could invite over of a Thursday afternoon. No.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No. I did notice, and I'm not the only one who noticed this, maybe you noticed it too, Virgil. The president is now aggressively insisting on calling this the Chinese virus.
The Chinese virus!
Dude, why are you fucking doing that?
Oh my god, bro. It's like, can you be more overtly nationalistic?
But who is he pandering to right now with the Chinese virus?
Oh, you know exactly who he's pandering to.
Are there people in this moment in history who are still clinging on to their fucking xenophobia, racist?
Oh.
Well, maybe even more strongly, I suppose, if I think about it from a sociological.
Yeah. Oh, are you the sociologist here? Oh, my goodness. Wow.
I may not have as many degrees as you, Virgil, but I've got twice as smarts.
Oh, that's a bold claim. That's a bold claim. You're making bold claims during this virus, and I don't appreciate
Bold times call for bold claims. That's what my grandma used to say.
So today on the agenda, we just kind of wanted to talk about the most notable pandemic of them all, the plague.
The bubonic plague, black plague.
The bubonic plague, the black plague, the all-star of plagues, the legend of plagues, the LeBron James, if you will.
Oh my God, for sure.
Of plagues. I mean, Michael Jordan of plagues, I would say.
And I know a little bit about this particular plague, a little bit more than maybe the average bearer, because 10 years ago when I had stage 2 breast cancer.
Stage 2.
Stage 2. Give it up for stage 2, y'all. Yeah, that was, if only I had known. But I had just accidentally read a book. It's a work of historical nonfiction called The Year of Wonders. And it's about this town in England. It's based on a true story that walled itself off from the other towns around it during the Black Plague.
I read about this.
Oh my God, it's such a fucking good book. But anyway, that set me on this rabbit hole because I read this novel and I was thinking, oh, this situation is infinitely worse than what I'm going through right now. And so it was comforting. So I started reading like these really arduous academic texts about the Black Plague. And, you know, aside from it being interesting because the symptoms were so gross, like right now, coronavirus, knock wood, hasn't morphed to be like gross symptoms, but the Black Plague was like leprosy plus Ebola plus stomach flu, like all of the grossest things that you can have disease-wise were all Black Plague.
Shout out to Ebola. I mean, you know...
Ebola's getting eclipsed.
Yo, it's getting eclipsed. It gave its best run in, 2015, 2016?
Yeah, a comeback.
It made a comeback. It tried to get on to the starting room floor, but you know what? It got benched. And it's staying benched because coronavirus is the real star here. COVID-19.
While we're building Ebola up, I just want to say to Ebola, if you're listening, you're good where you're at. I mean, we don't need you right now on a pandemic scale.
We've moved on. Ebola, you had your chance. And now we've moved on to bigger and better things.
That's right, like coronavirus. But in any case, the Black Plague actually started in China.
I just read that last night as I was doing research for this, and I was like, fucking poor China. Jesus.
Yeah, poor China is right. But I was going to say I doubt anyone back then was calling it the Chinese virus because people back then didn't know how viruses work. For all they knew, it was like the witch who lives next door to me's virus.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't married, she didn't have kids, she was a witch.
Chinese ghosts have infected the bloodstream of the world.
This is how dumb people were back then. They didn't even know, like, that, I mean, the people who lived did not know it came from China. They didn't even know it came from rats. They didn't know it was contagious. Like if you fucked somebody who had it, you were probably going to get it too. And they were just carrying on with their lives.
Can you imagine? You're like hitting on this girl or guy, and you're like, ooh.
And she's got like open sores.
Yeah, you're like, ooh, those. You're really
Stinky.
showing off with those open sores all over your body. I think we should leave this tavern and head back to my place.
And then you'd wonder why, like, a week later, you were, fucking dying on your bed with a guy in a bird mask. Fucking. Can you imagine a doctor, like, in a visit, coming into the exam room, and they're wearing a mask that's full of, like, potpurri because the smell of you is so awful.
Because your body, you're sitting on one of those sterile benches with the weird paper mache on it.
Oh, fuck.
And you're like, yeah, doctor, excuse me, my ear fell off this morning, and I was just wondering if that was a symptom of whatever's going on around us.
Right, the witch virus.
Yeah. And that kind of segues into one of the more interesting aspects of the plague that I was reading about, and maybe you can elaborate on this a little bit more, but come to find out, the famous clairvoyant, just like our grandmother, Nostradamus, actually got his rise to fame during the plague because he was a self-proclaimed plague expert and plague doctor who, surprisingly, get this, brought forth the revolutionary idea that maybe people were getting the plague because they were so fucking disgusting and living like slobs. And so he said to himself, maybe we shouldn't poop and drink the water that we pooped in.
He was like the Anthony Fauci of his time, of the late 13th century.
Yo, no.
And because that's basically what Anthony Fauci, he's so tired. He comes on, he's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
He's like,
wash your goddamn hands.
Wash your fucking hands, all right? I'm tired of dealing with this. Wash your fucking hands.
And then he has to field all these dumbass questions like, I after a walk, I licked the bottom of my boot.
And for some reason, I don't feel so good. Do I have coronavirus? No, you fucking idiot, but you probably got like a 50 million other viruses.
Yeah,
Jesus
Nostradamus was like that for the people suffering from the plague.
And,
bitches, take a bath.
Fucking take a bath.
Don't drink poop water.
Well, and that was what they said in the article about Nostradamus was that in the midst of the plague epidemic, people instinctually stopped bathing. They just stopped. That was like their instinct. They're like, well, I dare say there's some sort of haberdashery going on around here. I dare say I'll not dip my body in warm water anymore.
So weird, like...
I guess to be fair, they were not accustomed to hygiene, so they were like, well, this whole hygiene thing is rather new.
Well, and it'd be unpleasant back then, I suppose. They didn't have, like, hot showers.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like bucket in your yard.
Yeah.
Like, you dread it even as an adult.
Yeah.
You imagine getting kids to do that? Like,
oh, my
how
God.
Kids are about baths, and they're nice now. You got bubbles, and they're warm, and
right.
you got your toys.
Yeah, you
back
didn't even
then,
have hot water. You had to, like...
middle of February. Come in the yard.
They barely...
Daddy's got the bucket ready.
Daddy has the plague bucket ready now. Let's dip your feet in there. Shit, they barely had fire at that time, so I doubt they had like warm water and shit.
No.
But it said in the article that at the time Nostradamus was a teenager. Can you imagine a teenage boy Nostradamus in the middle of the plague? Like, Mom and Dad, get out of my room. I'm trying to figure out why people's body parts are falling off. God.
It's very like a teenager to notice that adults are gross.
Yeah.
That's like their favorite thing. Yeah.
You motherfuckers, I don't even want to touch you.
Gross.
Can you imagine having a teenage Nostradamus around the house, though? Like,
that'd be annoying.
Predicting your future all the time.
Oh my God, and like writing it down. Shut up. Nostradamus's predictions were so dumb and vague.
So vague.
I mean, like, that was what, that was what he was good at. He was good at being intentionally obtuse.
And
nobody predicts shit, people.
No.
You gotta accept it. The universe is random, doesn't predict anything, doesn't care about you. Nostradamus was just an early conspiracy. Well, not even conspiracy. He was like the origin of conspiracy theories.
You know what he was? Is he was a walking human horoscope. He was just basically like, I'll say some vague things that apply to most people, and they'll think I'm predicting the future.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. He, if he had lived at a different time, he would have been fucking writing fortune cookie fortunes.
That was like his main job. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you for that insight.
Well, speaking of insight, should we get to our...
To the main, the thing we're all here for. We need to know what's going on in the pod, from the pod. So let's go ahead and get this started.
All right, here we go. The music in this show is weird.
It's terrible.
Well, all these reality shows and movies, the music is terrible, but this is particular. Kelly and Kenny.
Kenny and Kelly.
Kenny and Kelly. They're so fucking boring. Like, they're the kind of couple who, like, if you went for dinner at their house, nothing would be seasoned.
Oh, just.
And they'd serve milk with the dinner.
I baked you some chicken breast with no
boiled
seasoning.
some.
Boiled.
Nice boiled.
I boiled you some chicken breast in lukewarm water.
And to serve it with some iceberg.
Oh, some iceberg lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast is brought to you by Iceberg Lettuce. Do you like eating water in physical form? Then get you some iceberg lettuce.
And I bet it's one thing that Safeway's not sold out of.
Oh, I bet I bet it is. I mean, with all the people
true.
buying white bread, I'm sure they're buying
iceberg to go with their white bread.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna eat during the pandemic. Iceberg and white bread sandwiches.
Hey,
so we can tell our kids.
We've moved on from shoes. I think we're not eating turkey skin shoes anymore.
They don't make them anymore. We looked on Etsy.
Yeah, we
and eBay.
On Etsy. There was an Etsy shop called Depression Shoes. Delicious. But
they had bad reviews.
Yeah, they had really bad reviews. A couple people got sick. That's what you get for eating undercooked shoes.
So we're going to do, white bread and iceberg sandwiches.
I tell you what, I had to eat white bread and iceberg every day.
White bread and iceberg. Whiteberg.
We called them the Titanic.
There'll be some diner catering to our generation that serves Whiteberg.
Oh, Whiteberg. Ugh.
That resort is fucking sweet as hell.
Yeah, look at how brightly colored it is.
Oh, I want to be at that resort.
There it is, Barnett.
There's Barnett. Looks like Barnett got some.
Yeah, you let Barnett just sleep on the bed like that? Usually I put a bed beside the bed so that you can sleep on.
Right, one on the floor.
Yeah, you don't want them tracking stuff all through the bed. Ugh. Who wears a choker in 2020?
I think they're coming back.
Are they coming back?
Yeah.
Hey.
Why is it scary that she had her hands by her chest when she was sleeping? You were sleeping on your side? It was so scary.
It was the weirdest.
You were making breathing sounds. It was really scary.
I can only sleep on my stomach. It's hard for us dogs to sleep on our back.
It's true, dogs don't sleep on their back. They're all exhausted and letting us know, meaning they had sex last night.
Yeah, they're so tired because of all the sexing they were doing with each other's bodies. I wonder if coronavirus exists at this resort.
Well, I'm sure coronavirus was around when they were taping this. All these, maybe that's going to be the conclusion of the show. Everybody has corona.
They started the epidemic.
Didn't start in China.
Yeah,
Trump's going to have to start calling... Well, he would love to call it the Mexican virus.
Oh, I bet he would.
He wishes it
Turns
started
out
in Mexico.
the way coronavirus really started was Barnett didn't get all of his shots at birth. It's a mutated
He wasn't
parvo
up to
gene.
date. Yeah. It's a mutated parvo. Oh my
He
god.
fell in love with me exactly the way that
So
I
now they're
am.
showing Damien carrying Giannina around to prove...
This is so ableist. Like, what do us people with cerebral palsy?
Yeah, right?
We can't just be carrying around people like that.
No, you can't.
You know what? Don't throw it in our faces, okay? Bastard.
He has experienced that before, but I know
Getting racial again.
Yeah, she's I don't think she's ever gonna let it go. She's gonna be at the altar having her priest like, do you, Lauren, take this white man. Look at this place.
Oh my God, I want to go
Pablo
there.
Escobar's compound.
No shit. And to think Nick Lachey built it by hand.
My God.
The work that man put in.
Oh my God, that man must be putting in some serious work.
He believes in the show.
He really does.
He wants the couples
You know
to
what
have
he
a
really
good time.
believes in is a paycheck, and he hasn't been
does
getting
believe in
work
that.
in a long time.
No, it's
So-
been a minute since he
It
had
is.
that show, I think,
with
Jessica Simpson.
Simpson. The one where she's like, tuna's not fish chicken? What is it?
That's right, the tuna fish chicken. I always like to wake up to somebody telling me what their pet peeves are. Shut
Jessica
up.
was like,
I'm not even up.
Being short is one of my pet peeves, but with you it's fine or whatever. She is so far away from him in the bed right now too. It's like she's keeping his body distance away from him in the bed.
They're missing the pods. They're waxing nostalgic about the pods.
Hey,
She really misses the pod.
she does.
She liked the pod.
She's like, back in the pod, I just couldn't tell how short Mark was, so I really liked it, but now we're in real life.
Can't go back to the pod, like Grandma used to say.
Hey, one pod left is a pod never returned, is what she
Yeah,
always used
that
to
is
say.
what she said. Beautiful, poetic. I like how they're opening this with all the shots of empty bottles of booze.
And you know Diamond and Carlton had to get pretty fucking drunk to be able to stand each. Oh my God!
They're not even in bed
She's
together.
not even in bed together.
So they're both hungover and angry.
Angry already. Like,
Fuck.
oh,
Oh, that's the hat you
his
wanted
hat.
to find.
Yeah, that's the hat that I wanted. Look, if the directors of this show are still listening to this podcast, as I know you are, please send me that hat via mail.
Can you imagine having a wedding plan during this? You have to cut the guest list down to 10.
Just
8,
10.
actually, because you and your spouse.
Yeah, and then you've got to get like the
Oh, yeah, the
officiant
yep.
and all that stuff.
So you have to whittle it down to 5 people.
You'd probably have to do the wedding on TikTok.
TikTok. Oh my God.
What is it with these people in massages? Why is that such a big deal to everybody?
I mean, they're nice, but like, the getting so excited, like they're gonna go skydiving or some shit.
know.
You're just gonna lay on a table and get a
I've,
back rub.
I've never done this before. And so you're telling me someone just touches your body repeatedly in a non-sexual manner?
Yeah, for a lot of money. Oh my God, that was the biggest.
Bleh.
Yeah. So that is the official sound of Damien. Bleh.
Bleh. Fuck it.
I don't believe in luck or coincidence, but I feel like the luckiest girl on the wall.
I don't believe in luck, but I'm the luckiest person ever. So I'm something I don't believe in.
She just exceeds any expectation I had.
Boy, if
Corporate
Kelly-
speak.
If Kelly exceeds your expectations were low. 10 plus.
10
Like a
plus.
15.
Like a 15. Like a 15.
Like a 15.
Which is more than 10.
Which is 5 more than 10. I've done the math.
I wonder if, like, on standardized tests, anything that's above 15 and kids are pretty confident, they can just write 10 plus.
10 plus.
And if it's anything over 10, they get
No.
the answer right.
No wonder our fucking math scores are so low.
10.
Any answer above 10.
It's like a 15.
Yeah, kids are just putting like a 15.
10.
What is 7 times 6? It's like
10 plus.
It's like 10 plus. Almost like a 15.
Oh, shit. Oh, is Barnett a vegan? That's a weird thing
That's
for a
weird thing
dog.
For a dog to be, yeah. I've never met many vegan dogs.
I've never met a vegan dog in my life.
And now you have. I've never met a dog with commitment issues. Normally they just like find their master and just are unconditionally loving.
That is true.
I love how, like, when you're sitting down, Mark, I can't tell how small you really are.
What is he wearing?
I have no idea.
It's like a crocheted
A crocheted life jacket.
crocheted life jacket. That's what we're going to be reduced to in this pandemic. Crocheted life
Yeah,
jackets.
you're gonna have to
Jump off your cruise ship in a crocheted life jacket.
You're gonna have to start making your own life jackets out here.
She's not into him. Hi, Fred.
Fred, what's up, bub?
We have a cat named Fred. It's not another person.
Yeah. Well, don't say that. Barnett will feel bad.
Yeah, pets are people too.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Here we go, the age
The
thing.
age thing. It's like, look, when you're 34 and you've survived polio and tuberculosis,
You know things.
you know things.
I'm not worried about other people's opinions. I'm not worried about
Yeah, you guys really sound like you're not worried
I was
about
gonna
other
say,
people's opinions.
one more cheers.
Yeah. The man doth protest too much.
Yeah, I'm your biggest cheerleader, but I'm like an older cheerleader that went back to college later in life. And
Much later.
Much later. And is just
In
trying
my
to
golden
fit in.
years.
I'm very excited to be here.
She's like that. Did you ever watch that show Strangers with Candy?
Oh my god, loved that show.
She's like the...
Jerry Blank.
Yeah.
Where are the
Wow.
drunken brawls that I was promised?
I know, for real. You know,
Did they like take their liquor away?
I guess. Bro, if this was the real world,
Hot tubs,
reality,
tequila.
hot tubs, somebody would have already gotten their eye socket broken by now.
Solid boyfriend. You know, I went through a phase where like I didn't trust men. You know, I thought that they were all dogs, but
Good thing she didn't get teamed up with Barnett.
Yeah. Well, no wonder she didn't get teamed up with Barnett. She's like, I just for a period of time thought men were all dogs. Then I realized it was just Barnett, and all I needed to do was just avoid Barnett.
me too.
Oh,
Oh god.
she does not sound excited for him to meet her parents.
My daddy never met any of my
What?
What? Her parents have never met any of her boyfriends, and this is going to be her first, and she's never dated a white guy before?
Yeah, this sounds
can't
like a
wait to see
recipe
this.
for disaster.
I didn't know how to tell you this earlier, but my dad is Minister Louis Farrakhan from the Nation of Islam. so-
That would make the show a lot more interesting
Yeah, it
for me.
would.
And you could also bring that in, like, you know, well, it'd be harder to do, but gay couples.
Yeah.
for about 2 weeks, if that.
And one person is like the child of Mike Pence.
Mike Pence is the host of the show.
Very real. Even out
Hello, welcome to the show about love. Everyone loves. I do not look at women. My wife is woman. I look at wife.
Yeah, she's not a woman, she's his wife.
She's my wife.
She's Mother Pence.
She's Mother Pence.
Oh god, that's so makes my skin crawl that a man would refer to his wife as mother.
Hello, Mother.
I love Carlton.
You've never had this type of foundation? Because you guys...
I want to know what she's drinking. It looks good.
Yeah.
I need to talk to him.
I can't believe Diamond's never had this type of foundation in a relationship. Because this foundation does not seem very strong.
No, it does not.
It's true with girls. It's never.
What?
Then why were you flipping out about it?
Yeah, if your bisexuality's never been an issue, then why was it an issue now?
It's never been an issue with girls.
Ooh, Diamond's already picking up on it. She's
Diamond's
like-
on the case.
She's like, you know what? None of this shit makes any fucking sense. If you don't make any fucking sense, then I'm out of here. You guys, just call it quits. Bro, they are fighting so much. There's no way. You guys are fighting like this now. When you're in this, like, paradise resort. Imagine what your relationship is going to be like when you're working a 9-to-5 job again.
Ugh.
Don't try to switch, play the victim here, okay?
But they won't be because the pandemic's they're
that's
on the
right.
cusp
They're
of
just gonna leave
they're
this
going to be
resort
at
and go
home.
straight into quarantine.
Go straight back into the pod.
Some real stuff. And this is
From the pod to the pod.
here. You would have been here and
Oh, she's using air quotes. Now her hands are getting real aggressive. Boy, she's Ooh,
You know when
he's
you-
putting a hand in her face.
Carlton.
Oh,
Carlton.
Watch your wig, because it keeps sliding. It's been sliding.
Okay.
Talking shit about her wig now. Oh,
Well, I mean, what a surprise,
You,
yes.
you didn't know them after 5 days in a pod together? Whoever made the soundtrack for this shit should be fired.
That was a great line of music. Your bad love is trouble.
Oh.
Really
Wow.
well. I
Ooh.
never saw that coming.
My God. What good lyrics. Is that Freddie Mercury?
Elton John.
Oh, they're joining up.
Keely and Kenny.
It's like, holy shit. There's no pods anywhere.
Holy shit, another person on this show is also on this show.
Oh my God. Vanessa
So
Lachey.
Lachey. Oh, Nick married after Jessica Simpson.
Oh, there was life after tuna.
There's life after tuna, like my grandma used to say.
Giannina's like, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to cut someone. Jessica's like, well, Mark's gonna do everything he can to prove to me that even though he's basically an Oompa Loompa, he deserves my love. So, whatever that looks like.
Mark's gonna be her caretaker. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, now the alcohol's free flowing. I'm sure it'll turn everything more rational.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure everybody will start to get along even better.
Boy, good thing Diamond and Carlton are out there. This shit would turn real toxic.
What
Kenny's like, well, now that I've gotten a look at Giannina, her personality was garbage, but her body and face.
Like, those are the sorts of
That's a
things
10 plus.
that
Her
you would
body and face
never
is a 10
say
plus.
if you hadn't been drinking. Like,
Yeah.
in front of your fiance about another woman.
Yeah.
Well, she should model. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Mark is smaller than
Lauren! Lauren's like, Mark was small. Very small. Short. Compact.
seemed much larger in the pod.
Yeah, his voice was deceptively large for how small his body is. I
And
pictured
he is.
Barnett would have this like long flowing golden hair all over his body, and that he would bark in a very douchey way, and that he would go around stealing other people's glasses of wine. And you'd have to smack him on the nose with a newspaper.
I weirdly think a lot of these girls are disappointed they didn't end up with Barnett.
I think they are all very, and they are all.
There is
glad.
something about a golden retriever, though.
There really is. It just warms a girl's heart.
They
you
might
know?
be dumb and hyper and destructive, but
But you
they're
know what?
cute.
They're very cute. Boy, everybody's upset that they didn't get Barnett, and nobody is upset that they didn't get Mark. Oh no, the golden retriever pulled his back out.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
You need one of those doggy wheelchairs
Yeah, you can't have a golden
for you to
retriever.
pull yourself around with
Yeah.
your front arms.
Yeah, she's gonna have to pick you up
Front
and put
paws.
you on the bed. Kenny just said he couldn't go for a run after sex with Kelly. Bro,
What
see
the
a doctor
fuck? Yeah,
immediately.
seriously.
see a doctor immediately. That's not how it works. You got the metaphors mixed up, my guy.
My body just absolutely gave out, and I saw my
Oh my god.
My senior citizen body just.
That didn't even happen to me when I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. My body gave out. My
body.
life flashed before my eyes.
My body collapsed in on
Barnett
itself.
must have
Ooh.
some incredible.
Ooh, look. Ooh, she's
Oh.
hugging him up. Ooh.
He's drinking. Why does he have to have a tinier glass than everyone else? Did
They
you notice
gave
that?
Mark a tinier glass. They're like, we've got glasses for tinier human beings.
Conversation with Jessica never would.
The regular wine glasses look a little too large for your tiny man hands.
Shit. Mark and Barnett are gonna have to fight to the death.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a
Like
duel.
like a chihuahua going against a golden retriever.
That would spice this show up.
Yeah.
Like an oldie timey
Someone-
duel.
Oh, yeah. Like 10 paces at high noon.
Yeah. I think that's with guns though. I was talking about swords, but
Oh, okay.
But either way, we could do
Kicking
something that's more,
Taking it
old
school
Western.
Plague style. And that was another episode. That episode seemed quick. So to recap, Mark is small. Very small.
Jessica's still old.
Jessica's
As
very
dirt.
old. Carlton and Diamond are going nowhere.
Shockingly didn't make it.
Yeah, what a... Wow. They seem like they had such a good start.
From
by
day one.
Screaming at each other from day one.
Once they were out of the pod, now like I said, that they are kind of antithetical to the rule our grandma set up, which was, trouble in the pod, trouble down the road. But they didn't have trouble in the pod.
No trouble in the pod.
I should have asked her,
You know what?
What happens if you have no trouble in the pod, but you have trouble down the road?
If there are any pod psychiatrists listening to this, chime in, comment in the comment section below on YouTube as to what you think is really going on.
Yeah,
here.
how can you have trouble in
real life?
in real life, but
no
not in the
trouble
pod.
in the pod. It just
It
goes
defies
against everything we know
logic.
about pod love.
Yeah.
So, well, that's been another episode of Love is Blind. I feel really bad for Mark. He is not the star of this show, that's
No.
for sure.
No.
But Barnett, boy, everybody's favorite golden retriever is just making waves.
But if Mark euthanizes Barnett, he would quickly become the star of the
You know
show.
what?
He would steal the whole fucking show.
you know what? I bet you Mark is going to sneak in late at night.
Give him a shot.
Put Barnett in a cage and take him to the vet. Have him spayed.
Have him tell him he's gonna get spayed.
Yeah.
He can get neutered, but really he's getting put
He's just
down.
getting euthanized.
Yeah. Had to put Barnett
He's
down.
oh dang!
We gave Barnett to a farm.
We took Barnett to the farm upstate. He's fine.
He
now.
loves it. He's running around,
He's running around. He's
making friends.
he's getting his nose into everything.
Barnett.
Barnett. But yeah, well, we're still here with you folks, coming live from our own pod in the middle of quarantine.
And we plan to keep doing it unless the CDC says that you can only be a party of one.
In the meantime, don't go outside.
No.
Don't live outside.
No.
Have money saved up, I guess.
Have stockpiles of toilet paper.
Yeah. And as always, stay safe. Stay happy.
Drink water.
Drink water.
Especially if you're in Flagstaff. Getting some of the
That
finest.
delicious,
Yep.
tasty tap water.
Yep. That's
All right,
right.
folks. That's been Nothing Gained
Nothing ventured.
with Allison.
And Virgil.
Night night. Bye.